You two have been married for a while, but you are going to call it a day. You want some money from damages that were done to the apartment, and we're going to talk about that momentarily. But before we do, Ms. Salters, I'm going to start with you and ask you, I mean, you're young. You're what, 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember 23. How did you get, so you've been married how long?
A year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah.
Tell me how you met him, how you got involved, and why you got married so young.
I met him, he delivered my furniture.
Okay.
That's how we met. He delivered one set of some temporary furniture at first, and then I thought he was attractive, and
Don't tell me you ordered more just so you could see him.
No.
Oh, good.
No.
I was worried.
They didn't have the furniture that I wanted at first, so they gave me some temporary
I don't
furniture.
need the play-by-play on the furniture. kind of fast forward me to.
Okay. I had run into him a couple more times. The first time that I had met him and he delivered the first furniture, he kind of flirted and smelled something that I was cooking and joked around and said that he was going to come back for dinner. He didn't come, which was fine. I didn't expect him to. And I ran into him again. Another dinner conversation came up. This time I blew him off. Like, it didn't matter. And then a third time when he delivered my furniture, I actually was not there. My relative was there, and she had said something to him along the lines of, my cousin thinks you're attractive. She wants your number. He wrote it down. I called him a few days later, and he never left.
And he never left. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So how many times had you seen him? 3, 4?
4 times.
Four times. And on the 4th time, just delivering furniture. Wasn't over there having a meaningful conversation with you or nothing. 4 times delivered furniture, boom, moved in. Is that pretty much what happened?
Yes, we had some meaningful conversation in
During the deliveries?
After the deliveries.
After the deliveries.
Through text messages.
What is your biggest problem now that is ending your marriage?
I feel like Mr. Salters is not dependable. Every time we get into an argument, he's quick to leave. We have a 4-year-old daughter that we're raising together, and her reaction is, oh, Dad's mad. He's just gonna leave. He'll be back. And
How long does he leave for?
Sometimes days, sometimes weeks. It's kind of.
Do you have a tendency to leave the house during arguments?
I do. I get frustrated, and I decide to leave, and intentions to probably break up, but it's not really what I want to do. So
you mean to tell me you intend to break up every time you have an argument, you leave with that in mind, and then, well, maybe not, and come back?
Well, not necessarily like that. We have a kind of, it goes its ways. It's like we'll have weekly arguments, and then after about 5 or 6 of arguments, then we get into one really big argument, and then that's when I decide to go because the communication is not there. She holds stuff in, bottles it in, and then once I forget to take the trash out, all this hits the flame. All of it hits the flame.
It all explodes. Ms. Salter, he says you hang on to anger and hurt and let it all ball up and explode. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he leaves, because he can't respond to 6 months worth of issues in one argument.
Overwhelmed
by it. And we're going to talk about that momentarily, but before we do, Ms. Salters, I want to talk to you about your profession. He doesn't like it. What do you do?
During the day, I am a private in-home care professional.
Giver,
During the night, I dance.
You're an exotic dancer?
Yes.
Okay. And were you doing that when you met him?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your problem with that really big?
It more boils down to when she comes home intoxicated and wants to pick an argument with me, and then it leads into the next day.
Well, what do you people argue about?
Finances, and for the most part, I feel like he just doesn't want me to do it anymore because I have been doing it a long time. Mm-hmm. However, he's not doing nothing to change it. He's not working. He's not taking, I go to school and I have 2 jobs and I'm raising the baby and take care of home. He's not doing anything to take me out of it. So unless you're doing something about it, hush.
Mr. Salter, she says she's going to school, she has 2 jobs, and she is the primary child caregiver. Is that accurate?
That is true.
Well, what are you doing?
Unfortunately, I have some tax issues that I have to fulfill and get taken care of. That's why I haven't been able to get into school and try to get financial aid, because they want proof of me paying taxes for the jobs when I did work. Mm-hmm.
So why don't you get another job?
I am looking for another job, actually. I've been working with the temp service it was temporary. They haven't called me in a week, but other than that, I have been making progress.
Are you the primary the fact you don't have a job and you're not in school, and I get that. Do you take care of the house?
I mean, in the beginning, I did have an issue with my help around the house.
Right.
But I've been coming more out and helping, taking the trash out, cooking, keeping the kids clean, doing everything I have to.
You know, it's interesting when people say I'm helping or I'm doing. Helping means I do as much as I can. Doing means I do whatever needs to be done. I think you're helping and not doing. Am I accurate?
Yes, he is getting better than what he was.
Better. And I appreciate that, and I'm sure she appreciates that. But you have to see that as your primary gig. And I think it's difficult for men sometimes because they do feel less than when they do women's work, which, you know, wow, get over that. But it has real value and meaning.
Right.
And for you to see a woman go to school and have 2 jobs and you don't have it together when you get home, I think your manhood should shrivel up on that one. You have a distressing tale to tell about your wedding day.
I invited 2 guests to go and be a witness, so did he. 2 of my witnesses were my friends. His 2, I was under the impression that was just somebody that, you know, was close to him. It turns out that the woman who was there was not just somebody who was close to him, who meant something to him. It was a woman who he was intimate with before me. Mind you, he didn't tell me this before we got married. I just found this out 2 months ago.
Did you bring an ex to witness your wedding?
I did, but it was short notice. It was some person that that was real. I mean, she was close to me regardless. And it was short notice. I needed somebody to witness. I didn't have, all my other friends were busy at work. And
I got it.
But also at the same time.
Why did you marry so quickly?
That I don't know. I mean, because judging by the way things have gone, days prior to us getting married, which was days after my birthday, she slept with somebody else and lied to me about it before we got married.
Now, how long did you know each other before you got married?
5 months.
5 months, but you had already moved in by then.
Yes.
Correct? And you found out that she slept with somebody else just before the wedding?
Yes.
Days before?
Days. My birthday's on the 13th of March. We got married on the 21st of March. I wanted to spend my birthday with her and my daughter, and she had an issue with about past females or whatnot. So I told her, I mean, if we're not going to hang out for my birthday and this is what you want to do, I'm going to drop you back off at home. At that time, I was staying at a friend's house because we had split up at that time. She said, if you drop me off at home, then we're done. So I dropped her off at home. I went home. We ended up talking within a few days later, and then I came back over. We talked about it, talked about the situation some more, and decided we wanted to get married. She asked me, did I sleep with anybody else in the time that we were not together? I said no, which was true. I asked Miss Salters. She said no, which was a lie that she told me January that she slept with this man days before we got married.
Is that true, Miss Salters?
Yes, but in my defense, it was in one of his spurs of leaving. So at that point, I was fed up then, before we got married. But how we ended up married, I don't know.
Whose idea was it to get married?
Before I allowed him to come back in the house, he said, you know, I don't want to lose you. You're important in my life. I can't wait to marry you. And I said, yeah, right. If that was the case, we'll go tomorrow. And he said, well, let's go tomorrow. So we did.
So you did it on a dare, almost.
Pretty much.
It was just like, oh, you know, I'm going to show you. And next thing, you guys are shuffling down the aisle. And now you don't have any children together yet.
No.
But you're pregnant.
Yes.
You say that he watches a lot of porn, Mrs. Salters. Is that true?
Yes.
You said in your petition that he looks at porn with women that don't look anything like you and they have a particular type, and you think that he likes a type other than you.
I mean, he watches everything, Asian, black, everything but my race, which I'm Hispanic. So I feel like, what is he looking in these women that I'm not giving him? Because he gets a lot of goodness. So
Mr. Salters, you're multi-ethnic, multiracial porn watcher. Why don't you talk about that? And she has some problems with it. There are no Hispanics included.
Well, she does not watch the porn with me, so she doesn't know what I'm watching. I watched a lot of porn a lot of various porn, which black, white, Mexican, Asian, Ethiopian.
It's just got to be.
Long as they're not fat, it's not gay, and they're not doing no bondage or none of that craziness. I don't do that kinky stuff now. But
You just like that good old wholesome porn. I understand. Something in your petition about you falling asleep after having wisdom teeth taken out. Would you explain to me why that was so important to you, that you needed to convey it to me?
Basically, my wisdom teeth had to be pulled out, like, immediately. Within 2 days, I had went to the dentist on one day, then they had scheduled my surgery the next day. They pulled out the teeth, whatever. I'm anemic, so the doctor gave him specific instructions. Pay attention to her when she goes home and falls asleep. You want to make sure that her, she doesn't drown in her own blood or something of that sort. Well, the night before my surgery, he couldn't sleep for whatever reason, doesn't matter. When I got home from the dentist, I went straight to sleep. I wake up from my daughter tapping me and telling me, Mommy, you're bleeding, you're bleeding. I woke up with blood all around my face. And I was choking on the gauze that was in my mouth. I woke up, he slept next to me instead of taking care of me.
Well, I'd ask you to respond to that, but there's really not much you can say, is there?
No, not really.
You just kind of fell asleep.
Just fell asleep. I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm a night owl, and I don't sleep much at night anyway.
You weren't up doing porn, were you?
No, I wasn't. No, I was not watching porn.
You have to adjust your habits to accommodate the situation. And if you know she's going into surgery, you get a good night's sleep because you got to be, a caretaker the next day. You got to take that kind of thing seriously. You know what I mean?
Yes. And actually, I fell asleep early that night, and I woke up, and then I couldn't go back to sleep.
For the first 4 months of my first son's life, I never got more than 3 hours sleep a night, but I never missed it. I never missed nothing. You know what I mean? I got up, even when I was exhausted and tired, I always got up. You gotta get up when you have a job to do, whether you're tired or not. Miss one night's sleep, come on now. Listen, because you guys were so young, you're looking in here to end a marriage, I gave you a compatibility test to figure out, just to see if I could see anything interesting. Not really, but you used the phrase negative assumptions 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Why don't you explain that to me?
She has a lot of negative assumptions. Say I'm up on the computer looking for jobs, and we have an argument. She'll come in there and say, well, what are you going to do? You're going to be in here all night? It's like, why can't you just ask me if I'm going to come to bed soon and not start an argument versus coming at me sideways?
I got you.
It's just, it's not necessary. And it happens quite often.
She always assumes, she never gives you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
She always assumes you're doing something negative or inappropriate without first inquiring as to what's going on. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Ms. Salter, you had a response to that?
I do. I can give an example. A lot of times he walks around with an attitude or angry demeanor, and I'll ask him, like, why are you angry? And he'll turn around, I'm not angry. Like, yes, you are. And he gets upset because he feels like I'm always thinking he's angry. But if you have an angry, negative attitude about everything, then I'm gonna automatically assume.
No, sometimes I'll have a bad day and I'll just want to be left alone.
Bad day? Now explain that to me. You're not working, you're watching a lot of porn. How bad can your day be?
I'm not watching porn that much. I only watch porn when I don't get it, but that's the topic. But anyways,
you punched a hole in the wall once because that's what she's suing over. Why don't you explain to me why you punched that hole in the wall?
That was from her bottling stuff in and then blowing up on me for...
First of all, let's talk about what you're here for. You're here because you don't think you're going to get your deposit back from the apartment. Once you guys leave, he's punched a hole in the wall, and you've got to pay for that, and the deposit is $300. Do you deny at all punching that hole in the wall?
I do not, but at the same time, I'm in groundskeeping with the temp service that I work with, which I can get that fixed.
For a lot less than $300?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about that momentarily. Before we do, I'm going to say this to you. Divorce or no divorce, the two of you are going to have a child together. So you guys have to learn how to communicate a little better. Ms. Salters, let me say this to you. What you have to learn to do is how not to have the argument by standing your ground. This is what I want. This is what concerns me. We think, why doesn't he know? He don't know because he don't know. You have to tell guys stuff. And if you don't want something, you tell him you don't want it. And when she speaks to you about her needs and her wants, what are you going to do, Mr. Salters?
Listen.
Yeah. And in order to get the result that you want from the woman that you're with, you're going to have to give the woman that you're with what she needs. And what she needs is to be heard, A, and 2, not to be afraid to be able to say something to you that you don't agree with. And I think a lot of false okayers are afraid to say they're not okay because they're afraid of your reaction. I don't really know, but that's just a good guess. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's over the top. And it causes static in your head. Also, quit making abrupt decisions. The abrupt decision to move the furniture man in with you after four deliveries of furniture, the abrupt decision to marry, getting pregnant, leaving the house, gonna go away, have sex with somebody else. You guys are thinking like 14-year-olds and you're living lives of grown people. You got a kid on the way and you can't stop that. You're the one that caused the damage. You're going to get to fix it in the way you want. She may lose her deposit, so she's going to get the $300. $300 in favors Miss Salters. It is so ordered.
The guy punching a hole in the wall.
I think the judgment was right. She gets the $300 and she gets her $300 deposit because he is going to fix the wall. Which could have, they were going to divorce anyway. She was suing for $300 for the deposit she would lose after giving up the place.
Right.
So the divorce plus $300.
Right.
Which is, but he says he's working with a company through the temp agency. He's working with a company
Right.
that does that sort of thing. So he could take care of that for way less cost than $300.
Right.
So basically what the end was is he fixes the wall and takes any cost that, if any, that comes from that. And because the wall is not broken, she gets her deposit.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Win-win.
That sounds fair.
But as far as the couple,
I just don't understand how I don't understand how a dude knocks a hole in. Like, how do you do it? What's the method? I'm gonna have to look up some videos on how to knock holes in the wall.
well, if you look at what a wall is, a wall is just sheetrock. If it's some, cheap sheetrock that's thin,
I'm not gonna punch the wall. Like, who thinks of that? Like, who
think
thinks to punch the wall though?
when we get angry, not that we really get angry with each other.
I'm never gonna punch the wall. I don't care how mad you are.
When we have some type of beef, we usually talk about it, or we will,
Live on the show. She killed a bug. She killed a bug live on the show. You guys saw it. I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying?
No time for no bug.
We ain't got no time for no bug. You come in our house, you getting it. That's it. I don't care. I don't need no bug people coming out here protesting. All right, go ahead.
So, oh shit, what was I saying? Okay, this chick, we're talking about punching a hole in the wall.
Yes. How do these guys do it?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? You said
you don't know how to get mad enough to where you feel like
you said if we got in an argument. You said we got in an argument.
Yes.
Right?
Did I say argument?
I said argument.
Okay.
But if we got in an argument,
yeah,
I'm not punching a hole in the wall.
No.
I don't care how mad you get. I'm not punching a hole.
Or how mad you get.
I'm not punching a hole.
You get.
I don't care how mad you get. I'm not gonna punch a hole in the wall.
No, you're not gonna punch something, and you're not gonna punch a hole in the wall if I get mad.
That's what I'm telling you.
You can only punch a hole in the wall if you get mad.
I'm not punching a hole in the wall.
Exactly.
So why did this dude punch a hole in the wall?
Well, maybe that's how they express their anger. We don't express our anger in that way.
No. Not punching a hole in the wall. I don't even know how to do it. You know what I mean?
You do. You just take your fist and you shove it really hard into the wall. The sheetrock is thin and cheap enough.
The wall.
But the sheetrock is thin enough to where you could actually punch a hole in the wall. Like when we put the screws in the sheetrock to hang the mirror or the metal frame, you punch through the sheetrock and then put the anchor.
Yeah, but you punch through with metal.
Yeah, but
not your fist. You feel like hit the wall and then.
You're a strong man, and so you have a lot of force behind you.
I got a lot of force
if
behind
you
me.
hit that wall right there, like if you were angry and the bulk and power you have in your arms, and you with force hit that wall, your fist would go through. My fist, on the other hand, would not. I can't punch no hole in the wall.
Okay,
Hey, you know what? You know what? I could. You know what? If you really think about it, I could punch a hole in the wall. All I had to do was get a hammer
right.
or a drill.
Yeah.
I'll punch a little hole in the
Yeah. Right.
or a drill.
Yeah.
I'll punch a little hole in the
Yeah. I'm not punching. Oh,
no,
when I
some
was young,
stupid shit.
when I was young, there's a story about a guy punched a wall, right? But hold on, let me tell it without laughing. So he punched the wall, right?
Okay.
But the wall was concrete, right?
Okay.
So he broke both of his wrists, right?
I can understand one, but the other one, what makes you hit it again with the other one? If you hit it with this one and this one break, how you gonna hit it with this one? What's going on in your brain where you feel like that's a good idea to do the other one too?
To do the other one as well.
I think he's after work.
All I know was the story was what I heard. It's like, hey,
disability fraud.
It's like, hey, such and such is in the hospital. He broke both of his wrists. So how did he break both of his wrists? Punching the wall. Punching the wall? I never was sold on the punch the wall. Never was sold on it. I'm not gonna punch the wall.
No, you're not gonna punch the wall.
Okay, so I think we summarized the rest of this show, right? This episode.
Yeah.
The guy punched the wall. I don't know how he did that. We thought it was a good judgment at the end. Pay the chick for the wall.
Or fix the wall and then she gets her deposit.
Yeah. One of those. Yeah. Right. And they already broke up, right?
Yeah. One precipitates the other.
Okay, we'll give them both of those, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Both of those. And they already broke up, right?
Yeah, they divorced.
Yeah.
They divorced. They're too young. They shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
They're both still children. They sound like children.
They could be together. Back in the 1400s.
They're about to have a baby. So they bonded forever.
Oh,
She's pregnant.
They're together.
Yeah. They're divorcing, but she's having their baby.
Hopefully the baby don't punch through